Hi, I'm Jim Gary and welcome to Batilipe's Workshop. This is part 3 showing the process of removing my now defunct 7.4 liter Vortec engine from my 26-year-old Workhorse based motorhome. Not too long ago it threw a connecting rod and I have a remanufactured long block to replace it with. Working from the manual, I made a list of 32 things to do prior to lifting out the old engine. And in today's video, I prepared to remove the radiator, but didn't quite get there. I loosened the radiator shroud and took out the alternator. I took out the pipes for the engine oil and transmission oil that attached to the top of the radiator, and I removed all the coolant hoses attached to the radiator. So please be aware that I'm a biologist, not a mechanic, and I'm showing you what I did, not what I think you should do. So please consult a professional mechanic before taking on work like this. And as always, I welcome any comments or suggestions you may have, especially if you've removed a similar radiator or engine from a Workhorse chassis. If you found this video interesting, there are links to my other videos in the description below. So please like and subscribe. Now let's get on with the video. Getting ready to take out the radiator. Finally, and it's complicated. I've kind of pulled everything out of the manual. So to remove the radiator, first you take off the inlet outlet hoses, which makes sense, although they're really hard to get to. The overflow hose, I think I've already gotten that off, but I can do it. Then you have to remove the fan shroud. And the fan shroud's pretty complicated. You've got to remove the vacuum reservoir, which I don't have, the fan shroud bolts, which I've located, and then I have to remove that oil level pipe, where you check your oil, and the other one where you check your transmission, because those pipes come out over the engine and bolt onto the top of the radiator. And then I've got to disconnect the radiator hose strap, which I haven't located yet, from the fan shroud, and then disconnect the fan from the pump. And then once the radiator shroud's out, then I remove the fan clutch retaining nuts from the pump pulley and just pull the whole thing out. That's what it's set to do. So here's the engine from the doghouse, and here's the upper radiator fan, and it connects way back there on the side. Instead, I'm just going to disconnect it from this end. So this hose clamp's one of those pinch type clamps, and I've got my vice grips on it. There we go. That's one tight clamp. So there's the inlet with the thermostat inside. I just labeled it upper hose. As you probably recall, I disconnected the lower radiator hose earlier when I drained most of the radiator fluid out. And here's the overflow hose that I already disconnected. So what I got to do now is unbolt these, the engine oil and the transmission line. So these are 10 millimeter. It's just another machine screw, short one. This is some kind of shielding. It's just rubber vinyl. Brittle, obviously it's torn, but it's screwed on the back side of the radiator and then comes up here, so I'll have to replace that because that's what kept the air from rushing into the doghouse. Boy, they were thorough about that. There's two more in the back. There's another one. The last one's back here. So there's the last bolt, and I'll put them back in so I don't lose them once I get this moved out of the way. And it looks like the transmission thing isn't even bolted to the radiator, but let's go inside and see what we can do. So we're in the doghouse, and here's that engine oil dipstick line that comes in through here, and it's actually attached to the alternator bracket right here. So I'm going to take that off. There's a nut on the other side. I hope it's an attached nut. And then I can swing it out of the way, but I'll ultimately have to trace this down to where it goes in the engine. Disconnect it from that end. So that little bolt is at 5/16. And good, it's a captured nut. There it comes. Okay, so I got it off. It's just a little nut. Oh, it's got thread locker on it too. Green thread locker. I'm going to move the bracket away, put the bolt back in so I don't lose it. So this is no longer attached to either the alternator or the fan shroud up there. And here I'm going to take these off, this off. This is the transmission one, and it's just loose up there. It doesn't have to come off now, but I might as well. I'm marking this pipe the oil filled. And here's the hose for it. I'm going to mark that oil fill. And I've got to disconnect the hose here, either end, And then I'm gonna disconnect this nut down here that holds it again to the AC bracket. So that's a good thing I'm filming this. Don't know if I'd remember exactly how it went, but that definitely is the bolt that holds this. So I got my vice grips on this clamp, and I'm just getting it off of the hose. There we go. So this is out. So here's the 4 bolts that connected it to the top of the radiator, and here's the, or pardon me, the filler valve. So I'll just set that aside. These other parts. So I'm taking off the transmission oil line here. When you're doing a big bolt that's really tight, and you have to have 2 wrenches, I always try to get the wrenches set up so I can just squeeze them together. It makes them much easier to loosen than if you're just trying to do them separately. So I just put them like this so they're connected, and then just loosen, squeeze them together, and that usually breaks them loose. Alright, I got it apart. You can see the dipstick still in there, but I'll be able to pull this out. I just have to clip this one little tie wrap up here. So I got the tie wrap loose. Here's the dipstick and here's the hose, and we'll go out front and pull it out the front. So here we are, and here it comes. Very long dipstick. So we're all good. And here's the end, business end. So now I've got a clear view. I've got to take the bracket for this off, and that's this bolt right down here. It's a 10mm, and it just simply connects the oil fill to the alternator, inboard side of the alternator bracket. That's just so I don't have to do it later. But when I take the alternator out, I'll eventually have to go down here and find out how this connects in and get it disconnected. But I want to make more room out here for it first. The last thing I want to do before I take my lunch break is I want to get the heater hoses off. So here's the heater hose. It comes out here, up here, and then it loops around the front. I think they disconnected it from the AC unit. So it just loops around and goes back. So here's the valve, and it's not even connected to where it could work anyway, but that's what they did. I think it used to go in here because this is the old evaporator, and so if the heating is incorporated in there, these would be the heater hoses. But what they did instead is they just cut them off and then they hooked them to each other with the valve in there. I'll eventually figure that one out. So it's not actually touching the radiator at all right now. One end of it goes into the radiator there, and then it eventually comes out here and goes into the engine. I got the hose clamp off. There it is. So again, this just loops around, and there's another connector here that will have to come off. I'm on the right side under the radiator, and I'm looking at this nut here. It goes to a line. The manual says it goes to the transmission, but I don't believe it does, because there's already a separate transmission cooler radiator that I already took off. So anyway, it's there, and I've got to get it off, but I can't really get a wrench into there very easily. I think it's 18mm though. I think I got it on. So we're going to go up and remove the shroud, because the shroud's in the way, and if I got the shroud off, I think these would be a lot easier to remove. So to move the shroud, there's just 3 bolts. There's one here, there's one over there, and there's one over there. I think it's 7/16 of an inch. Came right off. It's another one of those little pointy machine screws. The other one over here. Got it out. And there's one over on the other side. I see it. Okay. There. There's the screw. Put it with the others. And the shroud, bottom and half are just put together on little pins, so you can take half apart at a time. Here's the top half of the shroud, and right down here there's a joint, and there's just some pins that hold it to the bottom half of the shroud. I should be able to just wedge it. So I'm down underneath the car on the passenger side, and this is the right side of the radiator. And this is that tube I've been trying to take out. And I couldn't figure out, a 3/4 inch slipped on it. I had a heck of a time, but I think I've got it. I have a really good adjustable wrench that is really, when you set it, it doesn't slip or anything. It stays right where it's supposed to. And I had to pry the shroud away because I couldn't take the shroud out, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I was able to get this thing, and man, was it tight, but now it's loose. I think it's loose. Yep, it's off. Oh, that's a relief, man. So here's the thing about this shroud. It's supposed to be in 2 pieces, and according to the manual, there's a little stud that keeps them in it aligned. And it did show a small bolt on either lip holding it together, but when you look in here, all you see are staples. See, that's a staple there, and that's a staple that was stapled in from the other side and bent over on this side. So stapled from the top side and bent over on the bottom side. And as you scroll over, you can see there's actually a series of 7 staples all along that holding the upper and lower shroud together. So they can't just come apart like it said in the manual. So here we are in the inside of the vehicle looking at the fan. What I've got to remove is this line here, this line right here, where it connects into the radiator. But there's no room, and because I can't get the shroud out of the way. So I think what I'm going to have to do is remove this bar, and it connects down at the bottom with a single bolt and 2 bolts on top of the radiator frame, and the radiator frame is right here. So there's 2 nuts or bolts up here I got to take out. So here's the 2 bolts. I'm just going to spray them with a little PB blaster, and they're 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's loose, and I just have to take the bottom half. These are just little machine screws. So we got to go back in and take the bottom bolt off of this to get it out of the way. And this is just so I can move the shroud out of the way so I can get at that fitting. So here's the wrench. It's a 15 millimeter. And let me show you the bolt. So there's that. It's actually a nut down there. I got it out enough that I could get a standard 15 millimeter socket on it. Yep, there it goes. It's just a little hat bolt. There's no washer. As it turns out, there's a second bolt down there. It's about 2 inches below slightly. It's really easy to get at from below. So here's the one I just took off, and here's the one I got to take off. So I can get to this pretty easily. Oh, this is so much easier. I've got that second bolt out. I should be able to just pull it out. Yep, easy peasy. I'm going to put these nuts back on. Don't want to lose them. And here's that radiator mount. So this part goes over the radiator. There's a couple screws on there. That holds on just some rubber shielding. This is the up end. I'm going to mark it, and this is the bottom end with the 2 holes. Even with that brace gone, I can't seem to get back there well enough to get the wrench between the shroud and the radiator, which is where it needs to be. So I'm going to take out the alternator, get that out of the way. It's got to come out anyway. So I want to take out both the alternator and the bracket. There's a bolt here, got to take off. There's a bolt up here I've got to take off. A little bracket bolt here I've got to take off. And then there's the bolt on this side here that I've got to take off. So I'll get those all out and see if this will come out. Oh, and then there's a wire here, the main wire that connects to the alternator, and it's a bolt-in wire, so it's this red wire. I'll label it, and it goes into that bolt right there, that nut bolt right there. So I've got the 2 side bolts out. They're 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter probably. And now I've just got to take this out, and I think the alternator will just lift out. So I've got it all loosened up, so it came right out. Alternator's still not moving, so I got to look a little deeper. There's another bolt down there. I've got it loose. It's 10 millimeter. I got the bolt out and I stuck it back in, but all that did is release this bracket. So I got the generator loose. I just pried it a little bit. I think that's all it's going to take, but I did discover, of course, there's another wire here, plug, and I'll label it as going to the alternator. So the alternator's loose. There it goes. There we go. Okay, so there's the alternator, nice and out. So with the bracket that was attached to it, there's the alternator. So now what I want to do is see about getting this bracket out here so I can get the shroud backed up so I can get to that fitting. So to clear a little more space for the shroud to come back, I'm going to take this off, and I've already loosened the bolt. There it is. Yep. So that came off pretty easily. So now I've got enough room, I think. So I'm going to try to tie this thing back and see if I can get a wrench in there to get that fitting off. So I was actually able to get the wrench on it from underneath and reach all the way up, and I have extra long wrenches, a set of them, so this gives me a lot of leverage. And like the other one, it's tight. I am able to loosen it, but it doesn't like get much easier until you get it almost all the way off. That's what happened to the last one. Let's go down below and see. So from down below you can see the wrench sitting on that fitting. It's the top fitting up there, but I'll go ahead and get it loose and get it off. So I got it finger tight. There, it's off. Okay. Boy, that was some project. So the next thing is to figure out about the radiator, how to get it actually out now that I've got everything disconnected. So I still have a long way to go. In the next video, I'll have removed the radiator shroud, the fan clutch, and the water pump, and I'll decide later if I actually need to remove the radiator itself prior to lifting out the engine. I'm just not sure, despite what the manual says. And anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Similar videos of mine are linked in the description below. Bye.